Shalom Akim, Kahalayim La Yabashim Yashab Bashim Hakudash, and double honest to Grims and Apostles. Thali Yashab for the strength and all to make this video, and Yara Tazar, they also edified by it as well, which means to be built up. When we say Kahalayim La, we're saying all praises to you. When we say Yahweh, that's the true name of the Most High God, and his name means he is, he exists, or he is to be. When we say Bahashem, we're saying in the name, and Yahweh Shai is the true name of our Messiah, which is really the world ignorantly calls him Jesus Christ, but his real name is Yahushua, and it means he delivers. And when we say Bahashim Rachak Wadash, we're saying in the name Spirit Holy, but that means through the Holy Spirit. But just to get to the point of the video, that was a brief ancient Hebrew introduction. Probably going to be a short video here because it's an easy point to understand. But as I named it, why trimmest thy ways? Which that's I'm gonna bring out that as the first precept, because that goes into, you can see it as a way of losing one's integrity, which integrity is just one's strong moral principles. You could also see it as a way, really, Israelites forsaking the way of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, because our ways are really written within the scriptures for us to follow, and it's also for our own well-being and to be in tune with Yahweh Shem Yahushua. So why trimmest thy ways with all these different I'm trying to put a label on it, different ways of which really separates us from Yahweh Shem Yahushua, and also it's a reflection of that self-hatred that Israelites have for themselves too. These so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians. But yeah, as I said, this video shouldn't be too long, so I'm going to get to it. Then Yara Tazar get some precepts. And yeah, man, I want to roll. So, actually, prior to that, let me just read the precept out because I didn't mention it. So, alright, good. Now, let me get this. Should be in Jeremiah 2 and 33. Jeremiah 2 and 33. Why trimmest thou thy ways to seek love? Let me highlight it. Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways. So really the key question here, it says, why trimmest thy way to seek love, man? You want to be accepted by the heathens. You want to feel love. Which is, yeah, the reason why, again, which really the focus of this video is really about skin bleaching. The reason why women, especially the Israelite women, as it says in Nigeria, also in many other countries, mainly of the southern tribe, the reason why they bleach is because they want to be like the so-called Edomite women as well. They want to be able to attract their master, if one could even say that. They again, is a form of self-hatred, man. So let me get to this video. It says concerns over popularity of skin bleaching creams in Nigeria, BBC News. So yes, by BBC News, just continue now.
To Nigeria now, though, where more than 3/4 of people use skin lightening creams. They're commonly known as bleaching creams. It's the country.
It's the same thing as the weaves as well, man. The weaves, they want to imitate this image right here, the so-called Edomite woman, because of course she's in power right now, because of the Edomite man is in power also. So they want to look like that because they have that self-hatred towards themselves and how they look, which really should not be so.
With the highest use in Africa, according to the WHO. In 2023, Nigeria's food and drugs regulator declared a state of emergency over the products. The BBC's Medina Mashanu has been to Kano State. Now, that's one of several major hubs for skin bleaching in Nigeria, and has this report for us.
My youngest child was barely 2 years old when I started bleaching him, and the scars have started showing on his skin.
This Nigerian mother used skin lightening creams on all 6 of her children, which she says burnt their skin.
Just wanted to see the title of it. It's pretty much the same. It says concerns over skin bleaching creams in Nigeria.
Concealing her identity for their privacy.
When my daughter was mistaken for a drug addict because of the bleaching, it made me extremely sad.
She says she did it because of pressure from her own mother.
When I visit my mother, she shows more love to her other light-skinned grandchildren. But when I got the bleaching cream and started using it on them, they became lighter, and then she started bringing them closer to her.
Her story is part of a growing trend in Africa, says medical aesthetician and campaigner Zainab Bashiriau.
So a lot of people link light skin to beauty or wealth. Women tend to shield, as they call it, shield their children from that discrimination by bleaching them from childbirth. Some of these women even go to the extent of taking injections while they are pregnant just so they can give birth to lighter skinned children.
Long-term use of skin lightening products can have serious consequences.
They can have severe rashes all over their bodies. We've also had cases of, first-degree burn. It can also affect their kidney, which we call the nephrotic syndrome.
Common bleaching ingredients.
Speaking of burns, we're going to get a precept on that as well. Speaking of burns, let's see. Because part of the curses as well, man. This thing, the scriptures, when you read them as well, they can be multifold, which means they have many meanings. Even though it's one precept that you're reading, it can be applied in different contexts rather. Right. So was I gonna get away? Okay, come on. Deuteronomy 28 and verse 22. It says, "The Lord Yahweh shall smite thee with a consumption and with a fever and with an inflammation and with an extreme burning." Didn't it say about skin bleaching that one of the effects is first degree burns, man? When you get to an extreme level of using it for too long. So this is an example of the curses as well, with an extreme burning, which is really a result of that self-hatred, man, not liking the way Yahweh Hashem Yeshua created them. And it says, "And with the sword, and with blasting, and with the mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish," man. That self-hatred is there, man. Where is it? And this is part of it too. Hold on. So it says, "The Lord shall send upon thee cursing, vexation." Even the women are vexed because of that self-hatred upon themselves. And then that puts a demon upon them in order to desire to skin bleach. And then in the long term, that's then going to have negative effects upon them. Hence the vexation. Now it says, but which is really just vanity at the end of the day. All this skin bleaching. And they do it for beauty's sake, but it's that common now. And rebuke, and in all that thou settest thine hand to do, thine hand unto for to do, until thou be destroyed, and until thou perish quickly because of the wickedness of thy doings, whereby thou hast forsaken me. So yeah, he says cursing, vexation, man. Keep her right there. That's the reason why they're having these extreme burning, as it said in Deuteronomy 20 and 22, with an extreme burning and with an inflammation. These skin bleaching products actually give into that. Alright, let's see what's up now.
Common bleaching ingredients include steroids, mercury, hydroquinone, and kojic acid. Many of these are banned or tightly regulated by Nigeria's Food and Drug Regulator, NAFDAC, especially in children's products. NAFDAC says Kano and Lagos states are major hotspots for bleaching. Despite tight regulations, these bleaching creams are so easily accessible. For example, in this supermarket in Kano State, when I picked up one of the creams that says baby bleaching cream, I noticed that many of the ingredients here are illegal substances. I met one mother in...
Yeah, man. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. That's for 0, 4, and 6. Let's get down quickly, then we'll go and get a few more. Because if they knew, okay, these chemicals would affect them in the long term, and of course, really, if they fundamentally had the fear of Yahweh Hashem Yahshai, they wouldn't be in this position in the first place. If you really get to the root of the problem. Right, Hosea 4 and 6. It says that my people are destroyed. Let me do this. My people are destroyed for lack of knowledge, because thou hast rejected knowledge. I will also reject thee, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing thou hast forgotten the law of thy power. I will also forget thy children. See, so destroyed because they don't want to accept the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Shai, which will be for their own well-being. Now, I'm gonna link the rest of this video to on the description Yaratazar, but I also want to play a little bit of this. Should be.
If you're looking for adventure and pure delight, where surprises wait beyond every sight, where afternoons spark.
Yeah, it should be this one as well. Just a little, like the first few minutes. Actually, I brought up preset, but let me bring out another one. Let's see, is there 4 and 6? That's been read. Another one as well. And of course, you can't really, well, I say you can't really, but at the same time, they've been, the so-called black woman has been cursed as well. Of course, we know about the scab upon their head, which is really boldness. Let's see. That's why their hair is quite short nowadays compared to back in the day. Now, Isaiah 3 and 24. It says they're referring to the so-called black woman. Hold on. Isaiah 3 and verse 24. Hold up. Isaiah 3 and 24. And it shall come to pass that instead of sweet smell, there shall be stink. And also the reason why is because of all that, processed food that they consume as well. That's what produces that stink. And instead of girdle, a rent, instead of a well-set hair, boldness. That's why certain of them gotta hide it with weaves and synthetic attachments. Because if you naturally have long hair, you don't need synthetic flipping attachments. Man, I already made a video on that. So, and instead of a stomacher, because these synthetic attachments, they really contain carcinogens, especially when heated, which means a carcinogen is really just something that aids in the cancer production. And it says, instead of a stomacher, a girding of sackcloth, and burning. Remember when he talked about skin bleaching, burning instead of beauty. Because you try to look beautiful, you try to be, you try to make yourself lighter by skin bleaching, but you're actually going through a burning, man, quite literally. The skin gets thinner. Let's play some of this, and then I'm gonna go into a little article as well on the effects of skin bleaching too, man.
Soweto, South Africa. Here lives Lebo Han, a 35-year-old single mother who has been using skin bleaching creams for over 15 years.
I couldn't stop at all. I was in hunger for that beauty. I even mixed it with...
You notice how she says she was in hunger for that beauty, man. And considering what we just read as well, it says burning, as you can see it here, it says burning instead of beauty. So, of course, most I'd be cold with these scriptures, man. Because, we're applying it to today's context and what's going on. They're literally burning their skin. Of course, not with fire, but in a different way of irritation. When a person's skin bleaches.
I even mixed it with my body lotion so that I could be light the whole body, not the face only.
In her 20s, Lebo Han became jealous when her friends gradually became lighter in complexion. She started using the same bleaching products, switching to different brands over the years, depending on what her friends were using.
First, I was very beautiful, light, like a white woman.
That's how she says, light like the white woman, man. This is the thing, man. It's self-hatred, man. It's self-hatred. And of course, considering that an Edomite woman is seen as the typical, I guess, beauty standard, typical blonde hair, blue eyes, some you could even say brunette and brown eyes. Well, the point being is, they're seen as that typical beauty standards, and that self-hatred of which the Israelite woman has for themselves, they're it's causing their own diminishment as well, which is still part of the curses as we read, man. In Isaiah 3 and 24. But what I'm about to get is something else. Verse 3. And this is the mentality we have to have, us Israelite men and Israelite women, of course. It says in Proverbs 3, and when I say mindset, I'm talking about this precept I'm about to read. This is the mindset we have to have. So Proverbs 3:21, 3:31. Envy thou not the oppressor, and choose none of his ways. Just because Esau is because this is how you know Esau's done a flipping very strong psychological job on Jake, man, where they have that self-hatred towards themselves. They want to skin bleach to look like him. But the thing is, it's actually healthy to have melanin within the body, man. That's why Esau can't really stay too much in the sun. It even acts as a protection as well in terms of UV light too. Really, there's benefits to that anyways, but the point is, don't have too much things in excess. But what I'm really trying to say is Esau has made leprosy as a how can I say this, as a beauty standard nowadays, man. That's why the Israelite woman has been brainwashed to envy the oppressor, man. She wants to be like the Edomite one. She wants to be in that power state, because those of whom are lighter are then treated better, which is also part of the curses too, man. The fact that our enemies are going to be above us. Anyways, I'm not even sure if I read it before, but let's just read it again. Deuteronomy 28 and 22. Yeah, I did, because I remember highlighting it. Yeah, I did. But anyways, I'll read it again. Deuteronomy 20 and 22. And the Lord Yahweh shall smite thee with a consumption, and with a fever, and with an inflammation, and with an extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. So inflammation and extreme burning, and part of that is this flipping skin bleaching thing that's going on with the Israelite woman.
I was very beautiful, light, like a white woman. But after the after effects, that's when they started. I was becoming red and itchy, especially when I went outside to the sun. My skin went completely wrong.
See, we're gonna read some of the effects as well, because even Esau, he can't stay too long in the sun, man, or else the demon gonna be revealed within him. But of course, he turns red. Anyways, let's get to the effects as well. Then I will just close out. I don't want to make this too long. Yeah, it is okay, cool. Just go wait for it to load. Hold on, so yeah, just a little bit of reading. It says there's an article by Walking Dermatology, and I think derma really refers to the skin. You could say ology, study of skin. Anyways, dangers of skin bleaching. It says why you could be slowly killing yourself with some products. This was released in 2021 as well. That was not too far back. Where is it? I want to get to the key part. Okay, so it says some of the common side effects of skin bleaching. As it says here, high blood pressure, fatigue, feeling tired, light sensitivity. She did say that she couldn't stay in the sun for too long, because the thing actually thins out your skin as well, man. These bleaching creams. Numbness, neurologic symptoms including tremors, memory loss. Imagine that. The cream you put upon the skin also helps with well, not helps, but rather it diminishes a person's ability to remember things as well. Imagine that, man. You gotta stick to that coconut oil. Now it says irritability, and it's not just coconut oil as well. There are other good oils to use for the hair and also for the skin as well. Personally, I just like to use coconut oil because it's just simple. Warm it up and rub it on the skin after having a bath. But yeah, kidney failure, lung damage, great risk of developing skin cancers. Hence the the chemicals within those things. Now it says unregulated skin bleaching treatments may contain dangerously high concentrations of hydroquinone and topical steroids, hence the steroid acne for some people. Applied together, these two compounds halt, which means stop, melanin production in your skin. Melanin is the pigment that gives skin color, In concentrated doses over time, these preparations can actually cause permanent discoloration of the skin, typically grey, blue, or purple spotting. This is a side effect of mercury found in most skin bleaching products. Mercury also is also a known carcinogen, which means it aids in the production of cancer cells. It says a temporary fix may lead to a permanent change. You know, that temporary fix is flipping getting your skin lighter, but that would damage a person permanently. Using these products, especially from unknown sources, can cause rashes, acne, thinning skin, as I mentioned before, and scars. Some products may not even include an ingredients list, which is a red flag. So, you know, that's really the main point, man. In fact, let's see something. Let's see something. Let's say definition of melanin. Actually, what am I even saying? I was supposed to write benefits. Benefits of melanin. Benefits of melanin. Because ESO really has the least amount of melanin. The least. Now it says, what does melanin do? Melanin provides pigmentation to your skin, eyes, and hair. The substance also absorbs harmful UV rays. I did mention it. You know, these UV rays, you know, the melanin we have on our skin is actually protection against that. And protects your cells from sun damage. And Esau, as I said, he can't stay in the sun that much. Imagine, you know, we've come to the point of psychological damage where the Israelite woman doesn't even realize that you're envying a weaker being. You know, because Esau ain't got that. Esau's got the least amount of melanin, as I said. You know, so when you envy your oppressor, which you're not supposed to do, which is Proverbs 3 and 31, as I read before, this is what happens, man. But again, Hosea 4 and 6, my people are destroyed because of lack of knowledge. So yeah, I'm gonna end it off there, okay? You know, Yaratazar, you got the message. That's really the point. And yeah, man, you know, on to the next video. So yeah, Shalom, Kahalalim La Yahaba Shim Yal Shabba Shinaka Kudash. Double on Instagram with some apostles, Thadi Al Shaf for the strength in order to make this video. And Yaratazar, I'm gonna link these two videos, the BBC News one and the DW 77. Yeah, basically this video right here, I'm gonna link it to the description as well. So yeah, shalom.